We all know how important diet is for pregnant women, right? What you eat affects the health and development of your child. Well, one of the really controversial foods, as you know, is fish, specifically tuna. I mean, who doesn't have canned tuna in their pantry, right? It has nutrients, but it contains mercury, which can damage the brain and the nervous system. So this year, the federal government issued its first ever guidelines on how much fish pregnant women should eat. For canned tuna, it says no more than 6 ounces per week. That's the equivalent, basically, of one small can. Well, now Consumer Reports is going further, and after their own analyzing the latest government data on mercury in fish, it says that pregnant women should avoid canned tuna altogether. They go on to say, quote, "We're particularly concerned about canned tuna. We encourage pregnant women to avoid all tuna." So what's the story here? Should we just nix it out of our diet? Dr. Sujatha Reddy is with us right now. She's a gynecologist at Premier Care for Women here in Atlanta. Dr. Reddy, so good to have you with us. Canned tuna, do you agree with this? Completely out for pregnant women?
Well, the problem is Consumer Reports, when they tested the tuna, the canned tuna had different levels. Some of the tuna had lower mercury, and some of the canned tuna had higher mercury. And since we worry about mercury affecting the fetal or baby's brain development, that's why we limit seafood in general. If you're not sure how much is going to be in the canned tuna, I understand why they're concerned. The good news is there's lots of other fish that are safe to eat, and you know you're going to get a lower level of mercury.
Okay, so yeah, I think the safer ones are salmon, scallops, shrimp, and tilapia, I think are our best bets.
Yeah, and there's, the message is, really you can eat your seafood, and you should eat your seafood because the omega-3 fatty acids can help your baby's brain. So it makes sense to eat your seafood. You just have to limit and watch it. And if we're not going to be sure about how much mercury is in tuna, because that's what we're worried about is the mercury, it may be better to avoid it. I know that a lot of people are going to think that's a terrible thing, but there are a lot of other fish to eat that are going to be safe and good for your baby. You want to limit it to about 2 credit card size servings per week, which is about, the 12-ounce mark per week.
Okay, so you're not saying to disregard canned tuna altogether, but what about fresh tuna?
Well, up till now, we thought some tuna was better than others. Some people thought the canned tuna had lower levels of mercury, but now we're just not sure. I think you have to discuss this with your healthcare provider, but I think, again, avoiding too much of any one fish is going to be good. Mix it up during the week. If you're going to have 1 serving of tuna, maybe that for that week, that's all you have. The problem, Christy, is we're just not sure in canned tuna how much mercury is in each serving because it varies so much.
And we should point out the low options for low mercury tuna, which are low mercury fish, are catfish, crab, flounder, sole, and trout. Anything you specifically say, forget about eating while you're pregnant?
There are 4 fish that we tell pregnant women not to eat because they're larger, so they live longer and they absorb more mercury. And I give that to all my pregnant patients, but they're shark, swordfish, tilefish, and king mackerel. Those are 4 you absolutely want to avoid your entire pregnancy. And these warnings actually go for young children too, because we're worried about their brain development as well.
All righty. Dr. Sujatha Reddy, so good to have you with us. Thank you for all the great information.